Now I'll just get a phone call when this is all happening.
Hey, I'm Mark.
And I'm Teresa. Come hang out with us today.
On my Fix It Up light. It's time to bring beauty back in your next project by seeing red. Born to beat the elements, Western Red Cedar is awesome for outdoor rooms, decks, fences, pergolas, and more. Inside, cedar's a sweet choice for hope chests, highlight walls, and woodworking projects, big and small. Stable, chemical-free, and safe, cedar's a natural choice. So bring beauty back to the yard and punch up projects inside the house. For more information and ideas, see red at wrcla.org.
Oh, Mark, I am excited because we were just hearing about cedar
Yes.
and a lot of wood in the backyard, building projects.
Fences, pergolas,
But you know what?
compost bins.
But you know what? Your favorite thing besides building with wood is setting fire to wood.
Please alert the authorities.
It's true.
I love fire.
You have a wood pile all the time, and
Yes.
our wood stove that broke is now in our backyard, is our fire feature. And we have an expert here.
On not only pyromania,
Pyromania.
and the authorities are also outside of your home, Ahmed Hassan, celebrity landscape, original yard crasher, and person with plywood behind them in their landscape. What is happening?
What is going
Don't judge
on?
me. Don't judge me. Hey, I noticed you guys you're not sitting in your backyard showing us what it looks like either.
No, we're not actually sitting in our backyard.
No, technically we're not.
No, we're sitting inside judging you. Oh, our connection is not that great today. We're having some trouble hearing.
How about if I talk like this?
That's better.
That
That's much
is
better.
very, like, your hotness just went up by, like, ding, 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 ding. The ladies are like, who is this guy? All right. That's
have
how
a
we
funny
like to be
story.
talked to.
I have a funny story where I talk like this, but I can't share it with you because you might judge me.
I'm going to judge you right now because what's happening right here, you look like Noah or Odysseus or Zeus or something. What's happening here? Are you like Spartan 300?
I too have hair that grows out of my cheeks and chin.
No, how do you do that? Do you put some kind of fertilizer on that like you do for landscaping?
I just, I get bored, so I go low top, big beard, low beard, more on top, nothing on top, nothing on face. There's not very many options. I don't do like purple streaks and
Yeah, I sometimes will just clip out my eyebrows.
coloring. And I
This is so
don't get
funny.
there like curls and perms, so it's pretty limited. Not that many options.
There aren't that many options when it comes to men's hair, but I think the eyebrows might be a fun thing to do.
That's
you
it,
should
I'm
grow
doing
out
it.
your eyebrows. Can you, your eyebrows don't grow that long? Can you do extensions?
I don't have anything on this topic.
Okay. Anyway, we want to talk
You
about
can burn
fire
them off,
today.
though.
But we want to talk about fire today because one of the best things in a backyard to do in the summertime is to have a cool beverage at night after the kitties go to bed and have a nice campfire that isn't just for, the s'mores and stuff. It's for the grown-ups to enjoy.
So, it's an interesting conversation in 2014 to talk about burning fires in your backyard as enjoyment.
It is. It's anti-tech.
You know why it's
isn't
an
it?
interesting conversation?
What is it?
It's anti-tech. It's something that humankind, which is what we are, has been doing fire, because we didn't invent it, right? We discovered it. And Now I live here in Northern California, and in order for me to have a fire ring like the one behind me that did not get installed at my client's yard, so I brought it home. I live in the foothills, and I decided I wanted to have a fire at night. My kids wanted to do s'mores. We were going to have this great evening. And I didn't think to call the local authorities to find out if it was okay to burn on that day. And it wasn't.
Ooh.
And I took pictures of us enjoying our fire. I posted it in the social media. And a few people said, it's not a burn day, I'll admit. The kids want to do the s'mores. You want to sit around and drink a glass of wine and watch the crackling. And depending on where you live around the country, there's different stipulations and different ways you have to go about building your fire feature so that you can just enjoy a fire. And of course, cost is a big issue because you can have a zero investment fire feature, or you can spend upwards of 10 grand to all do the same thing, have fire burning in the backyard. Did you catch all of that? Am I speaking slow enough here? They're sitting there like...
Oh, yeah. No, this is good.
No, we can totally hear you. It is interesting because, you know, we live in Pennsylvania and I don't even think about burn days at all. Like, that even being a restriction to think about. And that's...
So check with your local fire department is what you're saying. So you're not that guy who's on the news and San Francisco burned down again because of Joe Smith in the foothills.
Exactly. S'mores were great and now the city's burnt. Another thing it comes down to is it's not even just like a fire getting out of control with like embers and something starting on fire that you weren't planning on, but it's spare the air. So in California we have spare the air days. Do you guys have spare the air days where you live? Have you ever even heard of spare the air?
No, that sounds like something in China. They have to spare their air every second. Not even like... I want to send them some of those hypoallergenic, like, air cleaning plants and stuff. They should just plant them everywhere.
Plant a jungle of them.
A jungle of spider plants or something in China.
Exactly. So I'm pulling up my smartphone and I got, it's sparetheair.org. So when you get a chance, write that down, sparetheair.org. But it's all about air quality, and there's spare the air days. So basically what they're saying is, especially California is really prevalent with this. I think people know, because you guys have traveled to LA, and you know that when you're landing on the plane, you're like, why is it all hazy over there? Right?
Because those people are busy,
so
right?
Air quality, because they're busy, exactly. So air quality is becoming something that landscapers like myself, when my client says, I want a fire feature, all of a sudden I have to put on my thinking cap and I have to say, what are you really saying that you want? What are you really saying that you want to spend, and how much is this fire feature worth it for you? Because how many hoops and hurdles are we going to have to go through to get you what you're envisioning in your mind? And that's something that, of course, we just get into what we call the consultation process.
So how do you get around that?
So,
when you're trying to do a fire feature in California for somebody, and it's not really fire they're after. What is
like
the thing that they're after?
Place.
Yeah.
Well, that's why every client that Ahmed meets with, we start with a consultation. So in order to even get me to come over to your house, he's laughing. This is what we've evolved to, right?
Yeah, we speak of it. When Mark listens to him, Ed, he only listens in the third person.
Listen to your dream. In order for me to consult with someone, the celebrity, I charge $375 to come over, and some people never get over that because they say, I ain't paying $3.75. We like you on TV and all, but hey, you know?
TV's free. That's real money. I know it. People don't get that. There's a whole thing I can go into here, and this will last for 2 hours, but you don't just show up at your doctor's office and ask him, hey, do I have an appendicitis or a bad disease? You show up and pay him or her, and then you find out. It should be the same with our trades that is built around the free estimate model, which some people's estimates are worth free, but guys like you, it's a whole different ball of wax.
Well, I think until the doctors and the lawyers and accountants and everybody else start giving free stuff, then, you know.
Yeah.
Then we'll get some free stuff, too.
Right. But, you know, you can, this is the last layer. But if you're just starting out in the game, you can't just show up and say, yeah, I'm 27 years old, I just started, and I'm going to charge you for an estimate. But you're a med. Yeah. Different story.
A med still. We might not be able to hear from a med anymore.
The geosynchronous orbit seems to not be orbiting.
Out. Man.
Ahmed, you're gone.
Let's see. Really?
Oh, wait, you're back.
You're back. You've been gone for like a whole minute now.
We've totally missed you.
Really? This is your guys' idea. You guys are the tech ones, right? My Fix It Up Live, Twitter, Facebook. We're on electronics. We're doing Google Hangouts. This is not my realm. This is your realm.
Yeah.
Yes, okay. We want you to play with us. We want you to come out and play. Knock, 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 knock. Can Ahmed come out and play?
Ahmed, you're too close to the mothership of Google. I think that might be it. You're actually too close to Google.
I think he's too in tune with the earth. Like, he's too in tune with, like, nature. And they're like bumping up against each other, like the technology and the natural order of things.
Now that we have him back.
Yes, there he is.
If you're going to DIY a fire pit, say out of inexpensive materials in your backyard, or a backyard like in Oregon where it rains every 5 minutes, or Seattle, or Canada, or somewhere. Anyway.
I love those Canadias.
Do you have any like ideas or designs or things that you've done to sort of meet the budget but make it cool at the same time?
Yes and no. So let's take you on a little journey and talk about fire features and the costs that lie beneath. Can you hear me?
Yes, don't move. This is great.
I am dying inside.
I'm packing a little bag. I'm going on the journey. Because I always have to bring a bag when I go on a journey because I might need a snack or have something to drink. And you never know. Exactly. I need lip gloss too. So I'm going.
I think my ticket expired.
And if my husband's going with me, he always carries money with him. So I'll be fine with that.
Where's my wallet?
Let's go.
We will call you Sugar Daddy. Let's go on the journey, okay? So here is level 1, entry-level fire feature, do-it-yourself version, right? All you need to do is have a spot of earth. That's it. And then you need to have fuel. You need to have something to burn. So you were talking about cedar earlier. You did a little plug for, what was that company?
Western Red Cedar.
Western Red Cedar.
Western Red Cedar, right? Western Red Cedar will burn just like redwood, will burn just like dry oak and almond and any other wood. So you put your wood on the ground, you got a fire feature, right? It's nice on, you got a fire in the ground. And then what will happen is the wind will come and it'll start blowing wood pieces away. So then we got advanced. We said we will make our fire feature, but we'll put it in a pit. And a pit consisted of a shovel and a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of leg motion. And then the fire feature dropped into a pit in the ground. And now it was contained. So then the wind could go over it. You could have your wood inside of it. Pieces weren't falling all over, burning the kids, burning the dog. So that was That was the early fire pit. And then we said, well, let's get it a little more sophisticated, and maybe I don't have a shovel. Because a shovel even costs money, right? Like a cheap shovel from Eagle brand is like $10. So if you don't want to dig, you could build up your pit, and you could use that with like rocks, right? So you could use pretty much any type of rock that's around there. Stack a bunch of rock, try and stack them to where they're not going to fall, so when you go to put a log in the fire, the rocks don't fall and smash your toe. So now we've got three options. You had flat on the ground, you had in the ground in a pit, or you can build and make a pit above ground. And you could use earth materials like rock. You wouldn't really want to use wood to build a fire pit for obvious reasons. Some people don't quite get that until they're like halfway into it. And then what happens is people say, well, I want the rock to look nice, and I want it to look more like a professional did it, like a little artisan. So then they start mortaring rock together. And you can mortar the rock together so long as you don't have massive mortar joints where there's more mortar than rock. Because then you have pore spaces in there, and the pore spaces trap air, and the air spaces is removed with heat, and then your mortar will pop, and it'll explode on you.
Cool! All right, that's the 4th of July design. Got it. My next blog.
And that's, you know, honestly, like 10, 15 years ago, that's the kind of fire pits we were putting in. We were taking stone, we were mortaring it together. You could do full-size headstones. You could do a stack stone, do like a ledge stone. And then manufacturers started coming out with, oh, let me back up. You know what the campgrounds have?
Yeah, the steel.
You know, they have those fire rings. Yeah, those are fire rings, right?
Yeah.
So you can also go online and you can order a fire ring, just like that. You can get the one that has the little grill on it, so you could like heat up your beans and cook a burger or something on there. Or you can just get a ring. And the beauty of having a ring is that the ring is going to absorb most of the heat. So if you then want to have a ring that's there, which is what I had right there.
Yeah.
I had a buddy of mine ring that I don't know, I must have paid like $200 for, because I was going to take and put stone all the way around it. And I ended up giving the job to a buddy of mine to do. I'm going to pour it out of concrete. So now the ring sits in my backyard here. So I paid $200 for a black piece of steel. It's wrapped, circular. It's really, really
Congratulations.
Nice.
That's good.
So it just keeps on growing. So now a lot of the fire pits that even you're going to see on like Yard Crashers. My buddy Todd Larimer is the primary contractor who's doing a lot of the Crasher shows, and he uses sonotube on the inside, and he'll use a larger sonotube on the outside. And basically, what he'll do is he'll pour a concrete donut, and that's your fire ring. And then if you want to look at regular gray concrete, you leave that there. If you want to step it up a notch, you can go down and you can get a bucket of stucco, some Omega stucco, which comes pre-mixed, and you can simply stucco your fire ring, which is a lot of what we do on the show, because Yard Crashers is a 2-day blitz-style landscape show. So in 2 days, you can pour concrete one day, you can basically stucco it the next day.
Right.
But those that are more advanced, or have more time, they might want to put tile on the outside. You can do anything then, because if you have a nice thick body of concrete, that's going to keep all your heat on the inside, and you don't even need to use a steel ring. It just keeps on going, and and nowadays people can also say, well, I'm not that much of a do-it-yourselfer. I just want to buy something, and you can go and you can just buy fire rings. You can buy fire pits. Fire pits will range you at the store from $99, probably at the Depot or Lowe's, where you basically have a metal bowl sitting on a little metal, you have like a metal bowl, a metallic bowl, maybe a copper bowl sitting on a little metal frame, and that's your fire pit. Now all of those are bonfire style, which is the kind you like, right? Because you want to throw some logs in there, you want to have your s'mores.
Yeah.
And the bad thing about those fire pits, and what I have to consult people about, is you're going to enjoy the fire, you'll probably enjoy your wine, your husband will be able to hold on to some money because you're going to be sitting and drinking. But But you guys are going to go inside the house and you're going to smell like ash. You're going to smell like you've just been smoking for like however many hours you were sitting out there. And sometimes if you invite your friends over and your girlfriends are all cute in all their little cute gowns,
Hilarious.
and there's some like campfire. Maybe your girlfriend wasn't even supposed to be over your house that day. And she told her husband she went somewhere else, but she stopped by and had a glass of wine with you. Now she's busted because why do you smell like campfire? You know what I'm saying?
Is this General Hospital?
Because she saved the children in the burning house. That's why. She ran in and she saved, like, all the little kittens.
The young and the fireless.
That's what happened, Ahmed Ahmad.
The stories, whatever. So then you decided, because you wanted your girlfriend to be able to sneak over every other Sunday and have a fire with you, you said, we don't want to stink like this. We're tired of having fires and then everybody has to take a shower, like mandatory. You can't wear your clothes more than once, you know. Then we went to either liquid propane or natural gas. Now you're going to spend more money. And the problem with liquid propane is while everybody likes to use propane because it's portable, right? Because you can take your little propane tank out there, just like your barbecue grill. You can show up at the park. You can do whatever you want with it. The problem is that, and I call it liquid propane on purpose because it's liquid. And if you don't know what you're doing, when you have that fuel running into your fire, if not all of it is being burned, which fire burns upward and heat rises, but liquid goes which direction?
Yeah.
It goes down. It follows gravity. Temperatures can be extremely dangerous. A fire pit, and wait until there's a whole mess of it, and then it will blow up your entire neighborhood. Theoretically. It could.
Okay, can I just say something right now?
What, your stories always start off like, I'm going to have a good time, and
like,
at the end, something explodes. Why is
you're
that?
You're a philosopher, man. It starts out with, I want, utopia, and then it ends up where it is, doomsday.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
I'm gonna finish it up, right? So you're like, I don't want to blow up the neighborhood. We're going to do natural gas, right? So now you're going to pay the absolute most for your safe fire feature. The dog alive, the neighbor's alive. So now you have to have a licensed contractor. You have to pull a permit because you're going to tap into your natural gas line at your house. You're going to put that in your trench according to code, and that code is going to be either 18 inches or deeper, or it could be, I don't know, it could be up to 3 feet maybe where you live,
It is 3 feet where we live.
Yeah.
Might be 4. It's got to go way down.
So then you have to have the inspector come out to make sure that you have your gas line at the right depth. You have to do pressure checks to make sure that there are no leaks with your natural gas, because that could be really dangerous as well. And now you can simply go out there, flick a switch, light it up. You have a nice, clean burning fire, and it has nothing to do with your wood pile. And you're like, what the heck, man? I wanted a fire, but this is not what I was thinking. So there's this whole process of conscious awareness, and that's what my job as a landscape professional is, to take my client on this little journey, to talk with them, to understand who they are, ultimately to take some of their money, have them smile while they're writing a check, and then build them what they're wanting, and to me what makes sense as a professional because I'm selling it to them.
Okay, so can I just say one thing before my wife tells me in the minute we have left?
Yes.
You just told, like, this whole full circuit story. We've been talking for, 4 or 5 minutes. The story comes back. This is the best TV show I've watched in a long time. So I'm gonna lead the charge. I want you back on my TV.
Yes.
I'll do it.
New things.
I'll do it.
And it doesn't even have to. You don't have to dig a hole. You just talk.
Just talk.
Just talk.
Lead us on a journey.
Where I'm interested in, and I know we probably have 30 seconds, is if it's conscientious and it deals with the outdoors and our resources, I want to be the Anthony Bourdain of the environmental industry. And just talk to people, travel the world, and help you guys to all expand your awareness.
Boom.
I got it.
Can't
That's
finish it better than that.
That's the thing. You gotta follow. Is it Ahmed Ahmad on Twitter?
It's alphabet.
Oh, we're losing.
Order.
All right,
AD.
We'll follow him on Twitter, follow him on Facebook, and watch this interview at myfixituplife.com.
Thanks, Ahmad.
Just looking for a place to go, somewhere I could just lay low, brave the storm and wait better weather.
Left. Bye-bye.